Samuel Leeds here, and in this video we're going to be talking about serviced accommodation and how you can potentially double, triple or even quadruple your return on investment through renting your properties out on serviced accommodation. So if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned. So thanks for coming on the show, Russell. You're fabulous. I know you've got a lot of experience in serviced accommodation. We're doing some pretty big deals together at the moment.
Yeah.
We're going to be renting out the 4 apartments that we've just bought serviced accommodation. We've got a couple of other title splits that we're going to be doing a serviced accommodation. The castle we're going to rent out a serviced accommodation. What is serviced accommodation?
So I think the best way to describe it is basically it's like a hotel, but without having to have staff.
Sure. So a hotel without staff, meaning what? That people just have a short stay there?
Yeah, so typically it's short stay. I mean, sometimes it can be slightly longer, but it's always short stays, a night, a few nights.
Yeah.
Up to, some people might use it for a few months, but...
Yeah, so generally speaking, serviced accommodation is when people come, they stay for a few nights, maybe they're on vacation, maybe they're in between houses.
Yeah, well, it's normally business. Business is people that use it the most.
Yeah.
So people that are traveling for business or builders that are doing a project somewhere.
Yeah.
Like you say, a relocation and tourists as well.
So that's great. So a couple questions. Number one is there a lot of hard work managing a serviced accommodation house?
I think there's kind of like a misconception that you've got single lets, which are the easiest. Then you got HMOs. And then way up here, you've got serviced accommodation, but in many ways, they're easier to manage than a HMO.
How are they easier to manage? I mean, an HMO isn't that difficult if you've got a good HMO manager.
Well, then you're not managing it, then are you?
No, that's true. That's true. But it all comes down to systems, though. Because
yeah, of course.
So why do you think people say serviced accommodation is really difficult, and why is it not?
I think they think it's difficult for a few reasons. First of all, is that they're looking at thinking you've got a continual turnover of people.
Yeah.
Which means you're going to be having to continually find new people and continually let new people in.
Yeah.
So that's the first reason. And what I would say to that is, yes, you do, but you don't really do the work because you're going to just advertise it on places like Booking.com, Airbnb, Trivago, Late Rooms, all those websites.
And are you going to have to individually put it on all these different sites?
So, well, you could do. Or you could just use an online calendar like Avivo.
Avivo, which is a lifesaver.
Yeah. Which basically you put it on there and it puts it on all the other sites.
Yeah. Okay. So you put it on Avivo, it then promotes it on all the sites.
Yeah. All the sites that you choose. I mean, obviously some of them have got different guidelines.
Some people say that, you should, running serviced accommodation, advertise yourself and you should go and put postcards out and all that stuff. What do you think of that?
Oh, I think it's rubbish.
Why?
Because Booking.com, and I might have the figures slightly off here, but it's something like they spend 200 million a day on advertising.
Wow. A day. I don't know if that's true, but it's certainly in the millions.
Do you think you could compete with that by
No.
putting it? And the other thing is I think stupid. They put them in local magazines, right? Let's say you were going to business in Oxford. Would you be like, oh, before I go, let me drive there, get one of their little magazines, have a little flick through. So, you're going to look online, aren't you?
Of course you are. Everything's online now. It's similar to HMOs. You're going to put HMOs on certain websites. You're going to put them on, like Spare Room. It's what 90% of bookings and rooms get filled from Spare Room.
Not far off, yeah.
Same with serviced accommodation. You're going to get most of it from Booking.com, maybe some from Airbnb, but that's going to run all through Avivo. So how do you?
What I love about it though, with HMOs, when someone thinks, oh, I think I might move there, what have you got to do?
You've got to, your manager has to go and let them in.
Make the appointment. Have them not turn up, maybe.
Yeah.
Show them around for them to decide whether or not they might have
service accommodation, you take the money up front.
They book online themselves through Booking.com or whatever.
No agent needed for that.
No. And then, as long as you've got like a key safe or
which
a key
you
pad,
need, right?
It always shocks me occasionally when I stay away, because I always like to use service accommodation to check out the competition. And then sometimes they come and let me in themselves.
And you're thinking, you just wasted like an hour of your life because you didn't invest in a £15 Keymaster from Argos.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also, I don't know whether this is just me, but I actually don't really want to meet them.
No, I don't want to meet them.
Especially when you're arriving late. I just want to get in my room.
If you're staying at an Airbnb or in a mini hotel, sometimes I had it when I was in London, and I booked a few nights at a hotel, and they couldn't do my last day, so I had to find another hotel, and I booked it, and I got there, and it was the most disgusting. Like, it was really cheap, to be fair, because I was in a real rush, and I'd been at this expensive hotel. I thought, you know what, I'm only going to be sleeping there. I think it was like £50 or something in London. But I got there, it was a disgusting house, really gross. And when I got there, I was thinking, well, this is a house, not a hotel. And there was a note on the door, and the note said, call this number and I'll come and let you in. And I thought, wow, how unprofessional, but fair enough. It was handwritten.
That is unreal.
So I called this number, and I waited 45 minutes outside in the rain in London with 2 or 3 other people who were also outside waiting in the rain, getting really frustrated. So then finally we go inside of the house. We have to wait. This guy comes like rushing, oh, sorry, like this. Obviously come from work or whatever. He's stressed. We're fed up. He lets us in, and I'm thinking, at least I'm in now, and I'm sure it's going to be really nice on the inside. I walk in, man, it is a disgrace. I go into my bedroom. The bedroom's a good size as well. It's a good size. There's a mattress on the floor that's yellow, and I can see wee stains on the mattress. Actual wee stains on the mattress.
Did you stay there? Did you actually stay?
Well, I have a choice now. I'm also starving because I've had to wait 45 minutes and I'm hungry, and now it's getting late and I'm tired. It's about 9-10 o'clock at night, and I think this is disgusting. So I'm like on my phone with no Wi-Fi, with bad 3GS, trying to find another hotel to stay at. And then in the end, I think, you know what, I'm not sleeping on that mattress. I'm just going to sleep on the floor with no duvet, because the duvet's
There wasn't even a bed, it was just a mattress on the floor.
It was just a mattress on the floor.
Oh my Lord.
So I sleep on the floor, and I'm thinking, this is absolutely disgusting. And also, the house, like, it was just horrible. So, I don't know, what do you think about that?
I think it sounds horrendous, but I think...
Is that serviced accommodation? Horrible, scutty...
Typically, no. I mean, typically...
no key safe outside.
I imagine if you looked up a review for that place, the views would be terrible.
Yeah. Maybe I should have done that.
Maybe you should have done... What did you book it through?
Mate, I don't remember. All I remember is the wee stains.
Dear.
That was terrible. So what do our serviced accommodation properties look like?
Well, the 2 most important things for me... Well, 3 most important things for someone when they arrive. They want a bed, but I would have thought that was a given.
No wee stains.
No wee stains on the bed, number one. No,
yeah.
Obviously.
How did that happen? They obviously didn't have a cleaner.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, go on.
So, number one is you want it to be really clean.
Yeah. And you do that by having cleaners?
Yeah.
Every single day?
It depends. If you've got like on our larger ones where we've got like 7-8 rooms, and it very much is like a B&B, I suppose, but without the breakfast.
Yeah.
You want them in every day because you've got people moving in and out.
Yeah.
If you've got an apartment, then I just do on arrival and leaving.
Sure.
I think if you've got an apartment, you don't expect someone to come in and clean for you while you're there. Maybe if you were staying for longer, maybe you would.
Okay.
But yeah.
And the second thing is...
So really clean, you want really good Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Again, you didn't have. I think people expect Wi-Fi. It's also nice if you can put things like smart TVs and stuff, so people have got home comfort.
And how important are reviews?
Reviews are the...
Life-breed of it, right?
Reviews are everything.
Because, of course, you'd never book a property to stay in overnight without reading the reviews.
No, you know yourself, when you're looking at a place, you scroll through looking for the 1 stars, don't you? And you're like, what? Even somewhere I like the local Indian near me, I really like it. I love it.
Yeah.
I looked it up the other day. I saw, someone's giving it a 1-star review, and I was like reading it. I was thinking, I've got experience going to this place. I've used it like 10 times, always been brilliant. But I'm still scrolling through their 1-star reviews.
Yeah, it's funny. I wish I'd done it before I went to my one.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah,
you'd have to be an idiot.
Some of our students as well that have gone on to do service accommodation are really amazed at how easy it really is.
Well, the beautiful thing is that It works well if you've got money, if you haven't got money, because...
Yeah, we'll get there in a minute. But the actual management side of it.
Yeah, sorry. So first thing, management, I forgot we were talking about that. So you've got your booking system, which people are obviously going to do.
Yeah.
You need to organise cleaners, and they can do everything for you, really. Because they can do other things, like they can check the fire alarms for you. They can make sure, especially if they're going in regularly, they can
So
make
basically,
sure...
we have a checklist of what needs to be done. Cleaners, this, that, the other, what the cleaners need to do.
Yeah.
The cleaners are basically the only people that really we need to employ, so to speak, or use them as freelancers.
Regularly. You might want to have a maintenance person as well.
Yeah, cool. Because it's worth spending the money on keeping it top dollar. Rather than, you cannot skinflint a serviced accommodation property. No. You just can't. You want to get it top dollar.
Which is why I think you need en suites.
Done out beautifully, en-suite rooms, absolutely go to town on it. Even if you have to spend like 10, 15 grand getting it up and running, or whatever you have to spend, just do it really, really nice. So you walk in and it feels like a hotel.
Yeah.
And if you can already buy it or it's in good condition, fine. If you're already renting it as a rent-to-rent, it's in good condition, fine. But trying to do a serviced accommodation on the cheap is not really going to work. However, we're going to get down in a bit of how you can start with no money.
Yeah.
We're going to get there.
What I would say though is I don't think you have to have absolutely really expensive stuff. I
No.
just think it needs to be fresh, nice, clean.
You need to walk in and think, I could sleep here.
Yeah.
One of the ladies, I think you know the girl I'm talking about, came on the crash course, rented out her room.
Oh yes, yeah.
She came on the crash course, heard it was doing, and she thought, serviced accommodation, I'm going to try it out with the room that I have a spare room in my house. She's got a high mortgage, she's living with a partner, she rents out her room, and if she'd have rented it out as a HMO room, she might have got £500 a month. Serviced accommodation, she's getting £100 a night. You know the story.
I know, it's covering a mortgage, bills,
covering the bills, and she's got money left over.
Yeah.
And now she's thinking, well, why don't I buy another house in order to rent the whole thing out on serviced accommodation and just put a key safe out the door? But she hasn't got the money to buy a house. So what she's now done is she's just found a landlord who owns a house that's got 5 rooms. Instead of buying it, she's renting it on a rent-to-rent agreement where she can then rent the whole thing out serviced accommodation. It's 5 minutes down the road where she lives. And it's given her a profit, a monthly profit, of which she can now retire on. Can you really retire off one deal when you do serviced accommodation and you do it right?
Well, say retire, if it's a rent-to-rent, I wouldn't retire off it, but in terms of, could you literally use that to make your money from?
Well, you could retire off it if you've got systems set up and you've got cleaners.
Well, you could, but it's not forever, is it? So I wouldn't...
Okay, all right. You wouldn't vow never ever to work again necessarily. But how many times can you do that? Like Leslie and another lady that came through the crash course, came on the crash course. She did how many?
Well, she's got 3 now. She's been with us for about 4 months.
Yeah, but she's got 3 rent-to-rents given her how much each?
About 2.5k.
2.5k. She's just done one that's making a 10k turnover on one house. And in fact, if guys, if you're watching that and you want to hear more about that story of Leslie, there's a link just above my head right now. You can see the figures and check out the story of how she did that. But why aren't more people doing serviced accommodation?
I think a lot of people are. In that situation, I think.
Yeah, but a lot of people are not.
No, a lot of people aren't, but it's becoming a lot more popular.
Yeah.
Especially the last few years, it's really taken off. I think people are probably a bit scared of doing it.
Yeah.
But
it is. I know you say it's less work than HMOs and it's easier and everything like that.
I wouldn't say it was less work. I'd say it's different work from HMOs.
Oh, I think with serviced accommodation, if you do it wrong, it could be an absolute nightmare. Mm-hmm. Whereas generally speaking, with property, if you do it wrong, okay, you can.
I think one of the advantages, especially if you're trying to keep it nice, is because you've got cleaners going in regularly. It is gonna keep it in good condition.
Yeah.
And they'll pick up on anything. So, you always hear the horror stories, especially with single lets actually, where people are there on their own, they have it for years, and then you turn up and they've trashed it.
Yeah, they move out after 10 years and they've just worn it down.
Yeah, you're not going to have that because you're going to be continually keeping it to a high
And that's why our HMOs, we usually like professionals because of the same. What would be your first steps then to someone that was wanting to do serviced accommodation, hadn't done it before, or maybe they were thinking of trying one of their current houses as serviced accommodation? What kind of advice would you give to them?
First of all, I'll probably say get a bit of knowledge about it, learn a bit about this, maybe get down to the crash course. We talk about it at the crash course, and that's obviously free, so you can come down and learn about it.
And
there.
also, although we don't spend hours and hours on it at the crash course, you literally take any question on this subject.
Yeah.
So if anyone's got any questions that are niggling them, you answer that at the crash course.
Yeah.
So get some knowledge, right, then what?
I think just do it.
Yeah,
Get
try it
knowledge and
out.
Just do it, try it, yeah.
I think it's a really good idea to have an exit strategy. So rather than thinking this has to work as serviced accommodation, just try it.
Yeah.
But we're thinking in. So for instance, if you've got a HMO that's working perfectly fine as a HMO, don't evict all the tenants.
No.
And say from now on we're going to do it as serviced accommodation. Maybe wait for one tenant to leave and then try and rent that room out of serviced accommodation. And then if it works, do the whole lot. What do you think?
Maybe. I mean, the problem with that is then you're mixing. So you're mixing because if that room is, you might get away with it if you've had like an ensuite room and stuff. You might get away with it, but
What would you say then?
I would say that
Let's know it all.
I would just say that if you came to, imagine you were staying somewhere, even if your room was nice, HMOs, they tend to look very lived in. It doesn't look very hot. So if you were going to a room and you went for the kitchen, had all the stuff in there.
The bottom line is
could
though.
work. I mean, Airbnb works when you stay in a room in someone's house.
The bottom line is if you just test it and go through the process of putting a room or whatever on the right platform, see the response. Even if you haven't got a room for them and just sent them to another room, I guess you couldn't really do that. But I'm just thinking to give people confidence to just try it. So rather than thinking they've got to spend a lot of money or they've got to evict a whole house, just try it somehow. How would you do that?
Well, like corporate, she's tried it on her own house.
Yeah.
Which obviously is a good way to way to start. What I did when I first tried it was one of my apartments, when it became vacant, I was like, right, let's give it a crack on this apartment.
And then you were like, my goodness, I'm making loads of money.
Yeah.
It's working really well. How much do you get per night for that one?
That one, it varies a little bit, but it's not great, it's about 80 quid.
80 quid. And what kind of occupancy rate can you expect for serviced accommodations generally?
National average is really high. It's around about 80%. I think it's 83.6%.
Yeah, I guess that depends where it is. If it's somewhere like Oxford or Cambridge or Edinburgh.
Oxford's got the highest occupancy rates in the UK. Not in the UK, in England.
Edinburgh in the UK.
Edinburgh in the UK.
Birmingham's pretty good.
Birmingham's great. Birmingham's good because you know, we talked earlier about who are your market, and you've got obviously business people, and then you've got people that are travelling for work and stuff like that. Birmingham ticks those boxes.
And the cool thing, what you do on the crash course is you actually get the computer up and you show people how to find out if an area is in high demand or not.
Yeah.
By going on the relevant websites and stuff, which is fantastic. So no, that's great. Okay, cool. So if you're thinking about serviced accommodation and you're interested, put your comments below, your questions below. Also come down to a crash course and you can pick Russell's brain. But as Russell said, just try it on a small scale, test it. I always say for everything, plan, do, review. Don't forget to check out Leslie's video where you'll hear how she became financially free in 3 months through rent-to-rent serviced accommodation, which should be on the screen in just a moment. And until next time, have a great week. Thank you so much for watching. If you benefited from that video, please do share it with your family and friends. For more videos like it, you can watch right here. And if you'd like to spend 2 days with me at the Property Investors Crash Course, watch this video, see what happens. But whatever you do, don't forget to subscribe right here, and I'll see you next time.